It's time now to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, how are you doing?
Hi, George. I'm doing great this morning. George, it's not snowing. We did that this week.
We did.
It's not sleeting. We did that this week.
Yes, we did.
We actually, I think, might be looking at something called spring for real going forward.
For real, right?
Okay, and I'm saying that because our special guest that we have on today, Mr. Kenneth J. Royster, who is the president and CEO of First Genesis of Virginia, and also my co-founder with Heritage Financial Partners, doesn't understand what it means to be in Central New York with weather changing 6 times a week. So I had to make sure I explained that to him. But as I said, we have a special guest this week, Kenneth J. Royster, who is CLU, ChFC, RICP, got all the letters there, and president and CEO, wealth consultant with First Genesis of Virginia, and my co-founder with Heritage Financial Partners, because I wanted Ken to take this time to nail down for us, after all of the conversations we've had with different associates, what it really means to be a financial planner in this environment, and why it's so important for us to start working on bringing a diverse group of financial planners into this space. So Ken, welcome. And I'm going to start off with a very, very simple question in a 2 minutes or less, so that everybody has some background. Give us your story as to how you became a financial planner and your journey into this career.
Okay, well, in 1984, if you want to go back that far, I started off as an insurance agent and learned how to be a great insurance agent up until 1996. And I had an opportunity to attend a financial planning workshop, mentoring workshop for future financial planners. And once I attended that workshop and I saw the kind of work that financial planners were doing, I said to myself, that's my career path. That's what I want to do going forward. And I just began to embark upon that career path. I went and got all the required licensing. I took all the required training. Vicki and I actually were in training class together, Spigots and Buckets, she remembers that, okay. And we had a great trainer by the name of Brad Backens, one of the best we ever saw, still to date. I would say we were very, very fortunate that at that time in our career, that we had a trainer who was very sensitive to us, but also was very dynamic and thorough in the training. And so he set us on a path for success, and we haven't looked back.
Wonderful. And, I'll put this little caveat in here. Brad Backens, who was, as you said, a wonderful trainer, was also a JD and an African-American in financial planning back in 1996, running the department. And he instilled in us a desire to make sure that we always looked at diversity in all the things that we were doing as far as moving forward. So Ken, we went through that very quickly in 2 minutes. I really appreciate it. But once you became a financial planner and you started to see the impact that it had on a community, what types of things did you start to realize as far as the importance of having a good relationship with a financial planner as far as communities are concerned and individuals in their wealth building strategies?
Well, the number one thing was trust. People are looking for folks who look like them that they can trust and who also have a strong knowledge base. And those are two driving factors that I think that our community was sorely missing at that time. And still today, we're quite underserved in that capacity. So I would say that as I started moving about in that practice of being a financial planner, people were sharing with me, oh, Ken, I wish I had done this 10 years ago. I wish someone would have sat down with me 5 years ago. I wish someone would sit down with my children and talk to them about that. That's how hungry our community is for this type of interaction with high-level professionals as it relates to financial planning. And so I went on and got my designations and all those things in order to make sure that I was fully equipped to meet the market. I can tell most people they probably they thought I was crazy during that time. I went and got 2 designations and 3 licenses in less than 24 months so I could meet the market, because I knew that our folks deserved the very best that we had to offer and that they were underserved. And so, you know, it's a void that sometimes people don't know exists because we just don't talk about money so much. And, you know, you having a program like this, George, and Vicki putting this together is phenomenal. You know, our community needs more of it, needing more people like myself and Vicki in the field, actually sharing that knowledge with people so that they can feel comfortable and confident about where they're going with their financial future.
So, you know, you mentioned a couple of times, and I would just want you to do this quickly. I did not actually delineate, explain to everyone what each one of those designations is. So why don't you go through and explain CLU, ChFC, and RICP?
Sure. So the first one I'll say is the CLU. That's a chartered life underwriter.
That's the only one I got right. That one I knew. Okay. Now the rest of them I don't know.
and that's basically a person who's well versed in insurance, but in the depth of insurance. Most people just think about a life insurance policy, but there's estate planning issues with insurance. There's group benefits. There's executive compensation that's insurance is involved in. And so you learn all of those things through the CLU. Then the next one is chartered financial consultant. That's, again, where we do our financial planning work from, where you get in depth, where you start looking at budget, you start looking at time value of money equations. You know, how often does your money double? You know, it's the rule of 72. If I take a rate of return, let's say 9% divided into 72, 8 is the number. 8% is your average rate of return for money to double in 9 years. So it's things like that you learn. You learn about the difference between stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, and so forth, and how to position those products properly for retirement planning, for college funding. You learn about budgeting, about debt management, and cash flow management is all part of that course. And the final one is the RICP. That's Retirement Income Certified Professional. In today's environment, we have more people retiring than ever before, and there's so many different vehicles that can be used for retirement, but who can make this plain to me? A retirement income certified professional can do that, okay? Make it plain for you. And so that's what I went and got that designation for, is so that I could just have that additional area of expertise that I can share with clients on it. If you don't mind, I'd like to tell a real quick story about that.
Go ahead.
When I was taking the course, one of the things that I knew about was reverse mortgages. And I used to think that reverse mortgages were people had no other form of money except for their house to live off of. And that's why they would take out a reverse mortgage. Well, when I took the class, I was stunned to find out that the majority of people who have reverse mortgages are wealthy. And I was like, wait a minute now. This is some knowledge that can be shared. And one of the scenarios in the course was, here's a guy who has $1 million home that's fully paid for. The limit on reverse mortgage was $617,000. He could take $617,000 out of his house tax-free and not have to pay it back and use it any way he wants. A lump sum, he could take it annually, he could take it monthly, whatever way he wants, and it's supplemental income that's tax-free.
So I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to tell you why, Ken. You just messed up my next show. I cannot believe you did that. You're killing me.
No. You know what? I'll give him a pass. Look, he just gave you a quick little example. Next time we do that, you'll give us a little bit more.
Okay.
That's how we do that. Okay.
I just went rip. Okay. I got to start.
No, because you have the time to do a little bit more with that. So
exactly.
I got questions about that. I got questions. So we'll save those questions for you.
We'll save the questions for me. Okay. So
anyway,
listen. Yeah.
Just to make it short, it was that kind of knowledge that came out that I needed to know that I didn't know before. You know, and as they say, you want to find out something, open up a book. You know, okay, that's how you find out and get more knowledge. Open up a book.
Okay. All right. So here's the final thing that I really want to make sure that we cover before we let you go, because we're having such a good time. My conversations with many of our associates with Heritage Financial Partners and also First Genesis, and has been around the fact that we are in the mode for bringing on a new generation of advisors. I mean, we made that announcement when we had the last jazz festival. We're in the mode for bringing on career changers, but I want you to speak for a few minutes to those individuals who may be thinking about this as a career, as to why they would want to, first of all, become financial planners, the impact that they would have on the community, and why they should do it with Heritage Financial Partners.
All right, so I'll take it by the numbers. Number one, why this career path? One is that there's a demand. There's a high demand for financial literacy, financial competence, and financial guidance. And so what better place to do it than as a professional? Now, that's the challenge part. Vicki and I attended a workshop some time ago, and the trainer told us, your challenge is not your colleagues, it's the novices. All the people out here who want to pontificate about being financial advisors who are not. So we want people to come into the industry so that our community can be well learned by professionals, people who actually know what they're talking about versus someone who might have read something on the internet, okay? But that's the reality of that. The second part of it is, as a firm, why Heritage? Why with us? Well, we have our theme, which is no other firm cares more about what we're doing and about the people that we serve. Imagine this, right, Vicki? Imagine working in a firm where the folks look like you, they think like you, they have the same interests as you, and they understand you, okay? But more importantly, they care about you and your family and your community specific. So our conversations are around our Afrocentricity, okay? Our diversity within our own ranks of Black folks. Every Black person is not the same. We're very diverse, but guess what? We do understand each other. We do have that as a common thread. We know where we all come from and all the challenges that we have. So now we get down to money. Why not come to a firm where, one, you got 70 plus years of experience in leadership? That's Vicki and myself. And we're willing to commit to developing you. Where somewhere else you may go, culturally it might not be a good fit. And certainly, are they really concerned about your development? And that's one of the things Vicki and I have talked about over and over again. What's missing? Why do so many people come into this business who look like us and fail? It's because of lack of development. And then the other part of it is, why is that happening? It's because the people who are training them are looking for the quickest sale versus the knowledge base, building up someone's knowledge base. We're going to teach our advisors, one, how to be competent first. The money will take care of itself when you're competent. People will do business with you because they can feel and they can hear your competency. But if you feel like I'm being sold, or quote, as the old folks would say, being hustled, okay, I'm not going to work with that person. I want to feel good about the people I work with and the firm that I work at. I think that being one of few who are out here actually promoting that as an opportunity makes us unique and different. And I think that because Vicki and I's commitment is so strong to it, people feel that when they engage us. So we're hoping that the next generation coming up will understand, one, you're going to learn from some of the best and brightest, but we're dedicated to making sure that you succeed beyond where we have already traversed.
So I cannot, George, were you about to ask a question? Because
I was going to applaud you and Vicki for this commitment that you've made and how critical it is to, in Vicki's famous word, to build a legacy for our community so that we do not have zero no more and create generational wealth. I applaud you both because I didn't want to not have this editorial. And I know so since I'm the one like on this thing about hurry up, okay. I do want to ask you, can you just tell us about your college and all of that stuff as well?
Okay, here's what's interesting about my background, George. I'm prior military.
Okay.
Right? And I went to college for 2 years while I was in the military, and I got out and I got into financial services via selling
Right
insurance.
then. Right.
Right then, right? Believe it or not, I went back to school when I was 48 years old. After I had achieved all this licensing, all these designations, I had a clientele told me, Ken, you are a Neanderthal. I said, why would you call me that? He said, they don't make them like you no more.
Mm.
He says that most people who are young, who are coming into this profession, would not even get a look at without a college degree.
Mm.
Would you go back to school and get your degree so that you can at least show people that, you know what, one, you have the discipline, but two, that it's necessary for you to be successful. So I went back to school in 2008, George.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
And I got my degree in 2011. I'm a business management major. Okay. I tell people I'm a 21st century manager, not a 20th century manager like all my friends are.
There you go.
So they got their degree in the 80s. All right. All right. I'm a 21st century manager. My strength is strategic planning. Okay. I'm a great strategist, and I call myself the greatest executioner you're ever going to meet. Okay. And when it comes down to executing a strategy. So I'm partnered up with Vicki. Vicki is this great strategist. She gives me more than I can stand for execution.
Man, don't mess. Look, don't we know? All right,
Don't
Vicki.
we know?
Okay,
Right.
all right. It's all right. So
Wait, well, let me add one more piece to
Okay.
this, because you were talking about the young people. So I went back to school and got that degree. Okay. And now, as I'm out talking to folks, I'm sharing with our younger folks, okay, that, hey, you have all the tools already. They're already degreed. What you're now missing is this technical expertise.
Mhm.
This development piece, that's what's missing, that's culturally sensitive to you.
Mm.
Okay, we're gonna talk to each other like we talking to each other. We
All
don't
right.
talk to each other about what's real and what's not real. I'm not gonna give you some language that you don't understand.
Mhm.
And that way, you don't have to talk to me, quote, just strictly using the King James English. You can hit me with some Ebonics if you want to. I can work with you.
You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Wait, Ken. I hear you, bro.
There you go. And that's our culture.
There
And
you
that's our
go.
culture. But
All
guess
right.
what? Take a look at how I look today.
There you go.
Okay, right. Just because I have all that within my culture doesn't mean I'm unprofessional.
There you go.
Okay, so that part has to be blended in, that you can be you, be a professional, and you can be at the right firm. And that firm is with Vicki and I at Heritage Financial Partners.
all right. So I'm gonna leave it off with this one thing, Ken, because I want to make sure everybody knows how to reach me here in Syracuse at 315-930-4499. But make sure you give everybody your contact information, because I have a feeling your phone is gonna be flying off the hook next week. So go ahead.
Okay, 757-627-6603. That's the phone number. Kenneth at firstgenesisva.com. That's the email address. And our web address is www.firstgenesisva.com, or you can go to www.heritagefinancialpartners.com and check us out. And I'll be more than happy to talk to you about the career opportunity with myself and Vicki.
All right. So George, at this point in time, I can very easily say and very happily say our plate is full. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again next week when we come back and talk about HECMs and reverse mortgages and fill in all of this additional information. But I thank you again, Ken, for joining us this evening. And George, we'll go ahead and say our plate is full, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Vicki Brackens. Thank you, Ken. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's money maven.